Many of us dream of making a break for the countryside.
Always wanted a thatched.
Good.
And we're here to help people take that rural leap of faith.
Oh, this is really exciting. This looks lovely.
We venture to the four corners of the UK, searching for peaceful country properties.
Is there a butler?
It's you.
No change there, then.
In truly spectacular scenery.
Well, I'm loving this already.
I can see cabbages for miles.
It's an adventure of a lifetime.
My heart is telling me this is just an incredible opportunity.
Oh, she's gone.
Is this the dream? It is, isn't it?
Paving the way to a brand new lifestyle.
We couldn't have believed that we could get a house that had everything we wanted.
Way under your budget, which is always a bonus.
So join us as we catch up with those who transformed their lives when they escaped to the country.
Helping would-be escapees make their dream move is a wonderful job to have, but I must admit the part I love the most is when I come back and see them fully immersed in country living. And here on Escape, we do our best to improve lives for the better. It is an absolute pleasure to drop by on old friends, put the kettle on, have a natter, and also a little bit of a nosy round their new homes in the countryside.
The steps I'll be retracing this time are in the wonderful county of Somerset, where two different couples were on similar missions, seeking a new lifestyle in the West Country. Later, I'll be catching up with the green-fingered escapee Sonali Shah helped back in 2020 on their search for a home with a garden for their growing ambitions. But before that, I'm finding out what happened to the husband and wife I first met 6 years ago when chasing the right place for them in the beautiful Somerset countryside. At the start of the summer in 2018, recently retired Sarah and her jet-setting husband Martin, who travelled the world as a company manager, were no longer tied to the family home in the Buckinghamshire city of Milton Keynes, where they'd raised their children.
We're really looking to move to Somerset. It looks quite pretty and good links to the major motorways and road links for me to get to the airport.
Keen guitarist Martin hankered after a studio. There were their 3 dogs to consider, and Sarah wanted room to expand her crafty hobbies.
I started upholstery about 3 years ago at night school. It's brilliant, but it takes up so much space. I'd love to do so many different crafts. I don't know how I'm going to get them all in, to be honest. But...
No.
So, with their budget of £500,000 plus a little wriggle room for the perfect home, Sarah and Martin were seeking help to find a character, ideally detached, 3-bedroom property with a large kitchen diner and space to host a party of up to 14 at Christmas. They wanted an outbuilding each for hobbies and at least half an acre of outside space. Our search got underway in the centre of the Somerset village of North Curry.
Here is your first property. We're starting you off with a cottage.
Wow.
Lovely.
It's like a picture
It's really
postcard
pretty.
country cottage.
But it does look like it might be a semi.
It is, yes, you are attached.
This early 18th century cottage with recent extensions might not have been a detached home, but it had previously been 2 separate dwellings, so there was space and character aplenty.
So, through the garden room leads us into the main cottage.
It's really pretty,
Wow.
isn't it?
You don't get a sense of how big this house is from the front.
So you've got dining area here,
OK.
leading through to this, well, I think it's a pretty good-sized sitting room.
Yeah, it's a good size.
There was another character-filled sitting room and another dining space with range. Then, at the back of the home, a country kitchen.
Love the floor.
It's great,
Exactly
isn't it?
what I'd like. Love
Practical. With those doggies.
Yes, very practical.
The ground floor also offered a potential hobby room and a bathroom. There was a second bathroom upstairs featuring a roll-top bath. The 5 bedrooms comprised 2 single rooms and 3 doubles, giving a choice of where to accommodate guests or themselves.
Yeah, I think the present owners decorated it in quite a nice way, and they've certainly kept it into the character of the building. Yeah.
You wouldn't fit our bed in here.
How big's your bed?
Well, it's supposed to be king, but because it branches out, it's more like a super king. From
Had to
the
make a little
frame.
hole in the side.
Outside, there was an outbuilding and more than enough space for another, with a large enclosed lawn that had scope to keep their 3 dogs happy.
So, what price are we going to put on our very first property?
I'd probably say about 485.
Okay.
I'm actually going to say it's bang on budget, 500,000.
You're the closest. It's on the market for £499,950.
Okay.
My 18th century heart of the village home had snuck in at £50 below budget, but their reactions left me sensing room for improvement.
I think the property has a lot of potential, but for me, it's just a little bit too much character.
Next up, we headed to the hamlet of Stapley, where the rural beauty of the Blackdown Hills provided a backdrop to a gorgeous country home that I milked for all it was worth.
So heads down still. Then I'm going to turn you around.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she's gone.
OK. Oh, to describe emotion, I'm like a young child on Christmas morning about to rip open the paper and see what's inside.
Oh, my God.
So do I take it that you quite like what you
Yeah,
see?
definitely, yes. I think it
Oh, my
looks
God,
fantastic.
it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Is this the dream? It is, isn't it?
This thatched and detached cottage started out as a simple 2 up, 2 down in the 19th century. The view may not have changed much since then, but the home had been considerably enlarged, starting with a garden room.
Decorate that at Christmas time.
Christmas plays a large part in our lives,
Oh,
doesn't
my
it?
God. How many people do we get in here for Christmas?
Enough.
Even grandchildren, when they come.
When they come.
No, it's lovely. It's very tastefully done, and yes,
And
I
this
like
is
it.
perfect.
This is going to be
Yeah.
the best house tour ever if it carries on
We're
like
not
this.
looking at it anymore.
This is it, is it?
This is it.
OK.
Given their request for a large kitchen diner, I was hoping the bubble was not about to burst.
I know we enjoy a big kitchen. I think it still could work.
We could remove that narrow cupboard, that end bit, and then we could put the range there.
Martin, you've already moved in.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. Follow me, please. Now, how about this for a change?
Oh, my word.
We've stepped back
my
in
word.
time. And if you actually look on that Bresma beam above the ingle nook, it says 1818.
1818. Wow.
Martin.
An ingle nook.
Martin.
Do you like it?
I'm so happy. It's like, I am so happy.
Moving upstairs, 3 guest bedrooms included a dual aspect double, all served by a family shower room. And then the 4th and final bedroom was a principal suite with its own dressing area and bathroom, as well as exposed stonework.
It's lovely.
And you know what? If the bed doesn't fit, we'll just buy another one.
Yes, yeah.
But you see, that's the difference. When you look
When
at
you find a
property-
house that you love, it really doesn't matter. You make it work.
There was a detached garage giving options for hobbies and, set against glorious rural views, a lovingly landscaped garden.
So we're liking what we see?
I love it.
Yes.
What are we thinking for this beautiful thatched property?
You've knocked us out of the park on this property. I'm going to say it's on the market for 535.
The asking price has just recently come down, and
Okay.
it is £500,000.
Really?
my
Right on
word.
budget?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hitting the mark on the final hurdle, this thatched and detached 19th century cottage left us all in a very, very happy place.
cannot tell you what a relief it is when our buyers fall in love with a house on the very first day. It's a small weight off my shoulders and a huge one off theirs. And it really was love at first sight for that second property. And what was it Sarah said? She didn't need to see anything else. Well, I'm sorry, Sarah, I still had the mystery house to reveal, whether she wanted to see it or not.
I took them nearer the coast to the village of Stockland, Bristol, where a quiet country lane led to my super-sized mystery option.
So, final property here in Somerset is actually a mill.
Semi.
It's attached.
Attached.
It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah.
I felt this L-shaped 19th century converted mill building had the full-blown potential to improve on their semi-enthusiasm. We started with a self-contained annex that had been used as a holiday let.
Now, on this side, you've got this huge sitting room. You've got a mezzanine floor with additional storage at the top. And then behind that wall, you've got a self-contained kitchen, family bathroom and a bedroom at the end.
Personally, I feel it's just a big empty space here at the moment, and I think we'd have to think about how we would use this space and what we'd use it for.
But this is only one side of the house.
Yes,
it's not
true.
the main
Yeah.
side.
Ah, Sarah was spot on. A door from the annex led to the main mystery twist, an upside-down layout, which meant we headed upstairs into a vaulted reception room.
This is nice.
It's a nice room.
You've got this area here, you've got a mezzanine floor there, which they currently use as an office.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to throw in a really lovely kitchen next door.
Below us on the ground floor, a corridor gave access to 3 bedrooms, including 2 good-sized doubles and a single room, all sharing a large family bathroom. And don't think I'd forgotten about those upholstery and guitar-playing ambitions.
Now, this room hasn't been touched, as you can see. So what you could do is convert it into a music room, a hobby room.
Yeah, but for me, I think it's getting a bigger and bigger project. The more we investigate this house.
It's too scary.
Outside, I showed them a detached double garage, and there was also a very private courtyard crying out for some floral TLC.
I really like the stairs. You could almost imagine a few pots on the edge with some pretty summer plants or whatever.
Well, let's see how you feel on the price on this property.
I'm probably going to go over budget slightly at £510,000.
The asking price for this property is £495,000.
Okay.
It's perhaps no mystery that, despite an asking price within reach, the project aspects of this former mill saw it losing favour.
I think this property needs a lot of work to get it up to the standard that I'd feel comfortable with.
But in a game of best of 3, there was also that 18th century heart of village home to contend with, and a show-stopping thatched and detached beauty in the Blackdown Hills.
It's been 6 years since our Somerset adventure, and I'm back to see Sarah and Martin, who, I'm thrilled to report, did make their dream escape here. Now, it's been quite a while since we last saw each other, so I guess we've got a lot to catch up on. And yes, as you might have guessed, they bought our incredible thatched cottage. Oh, they've left us a little note. You'll find us round the back. And I seem to remember that's how it all started. Hello.
It's Nicki.
Hello. So lovely to see you. Thank you for inviting me back.
Pleasure.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
It has, yes.
But worth
A
it.
few years now.
Absolutely worth it. This is where the magic happened.
This is where the magic happened.
Yeah.
When we last entered through these doors, Sarah was so besotted by the home, she even pictured future grandchildren running about in this first room.
And here we are.
The new kitchen.
Speechless. This is wonderful.
This was the garden room, and that was of 2 separate utility areas with a wall. We did say we wanted a kitchen diner.
You've certainly got that.
So we made it.
And you've got 2 children, haven't you?
and now grandchildren.
Really? How many?
We've got 3 and another one on the way.
Congratulations. Let's see what other surprises you've got in store for me, shall we?
They've transformed the old kitchen into a utility room, but in the main reception room, things start to look a little more familiar.
This is probably the least changes we've made, hasn't it, apart from the brand new staircase.
And am I allowed a little cheeky look upstairs?
Of course.
The main bedroom? Ah, beautiful bedroom. Got the dressing room next door, which I remember, the ensuite as well, which I'm sure has been changed. Go on, everything has been changed.
Yes, everything's been changed.
But there's one thing Sarah hasn't changed.
Wasn't this the conversation we had in every house about the beloved king-size bed?
And we actually said in all the houses it wouldn't fit. I think the compromise is that Martin is slim, which is good because he only has a very small area to get out at night. But it was too nice to get rid of, so...
I seem to remember Martin was very accommodating when it came to this house.
Yes, he was actually.
Yeah, I didn't want a fixer-upper or a money pit, but we've got to catch up on that.
We've got to catch up. Let's have a proper chat, shall we?
And where better to hear all about their journey than back out where it all began that June day in 2018.
This is our favourite spot, isn't it, here?
Yeah.
With our borrowed view. Since we left you, what has happened since then? 6 long years.
Quite a lot.
So we moved in July, and shortly after moving in, I got the opportunity to relocate for work to the US.
Oh.
Turned out to be a 5-year deal. Going to the States was an opportunity to get some much needed funds to put into the renovation because it turned out to be more than we first imagined.
So I would come here for 2 months and then go back to him for 2 months.
That's quite extreme.
So basically all the messy plastering, structural, walls out, walls in, happened while he was away.
Can I just touch on the hobbies? What's happened to the upholstery?
It went out the window completely. And all my time has been taken up with the renovations. But hopefully by next year I'll be able to get back into...
And the passion for guitars?
Well, the great thing about guitars is they're portable.
Yes,
so
true.
I could buy more guitars in the US and bring them back.
Which I'm sure you have done.
I have invested in additional guitars.
Because your budget was £500,000, wasn't it?
Yes.
Am I allowed to ask what was the cheeky offer was?
$495.
If it had no work.
If it had no work.
If it had no work, well...
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, but if you knew how much you're going to have to take on, and also suddenly this wonderful opportunity of living abroad for a few years, would you still have bought this house?
Definitely. It's home.
I'm not so emotional as Sarah. It might have made me hesitate, but I have to say we wouldn't change anything.
Whilst Martin's work overseas has been funding the extensive renovations, Sarah's time here overseeing the work has given her a chance to get to know the local residents, including one very special neighbour who she really wants me to meet.
Hello.
Hello, Nicki. Lovely to see you.
David, so lovely to meet you.
Less than 2 years after I showed them this home, David and Sarah's neighbourly relationship was to be sealed over the difficult period of the pandemic.
Well, after Sarah first moved in, we had that whole time, didn't we, during COVID?
That's right. To have a neighbour that was looking after me like Sarah has been very good.
It's been very mutual. He helps me around with jobs around the house. It's remarkable the things that he does. And then I'll turn up with food parcels or some things. To give you an example, once I decided I was going to paint the garage and I went in for a couple of hours, and when I came back out there was scaffolding that had been erected, and David had done the scaffolding for me, and he would even climb up it as well.
No, definitely need a David in our lives. So how long have you been in the village?
I came to look at this cottage with my late wife Marion 68 years ago and nearly bought it.
This property?
Yes, and changed our mind and bought the field.
And then you ended up next door?
Next door. And built most of it myself.
But you two have a very special relationship, don't you, Sarah?
We do, yes. I'm not sure whether David's surrogate dad, best friend, soulmate, I don't know, but he is a very, very important part of my life.
I think in a way it's the sort of thing that the friendship you look for in a country area like this.
When you move to a new area, it makes such a difference, doesn't it, when the neighbours do come and say hello and get involved and make you part of it, and that's certainly been the case here. And thank you for making them so welcome.
Yeah.
It's been a long labour of love, but with renovations done, my buyers can now enjoy the lifestyle they were seeking. Starting with walks to the local highlights, such as the tallest three-sided obelisk in the world, the Wellington Monument. It's now in the hands of the National Trust, who carried out its £3 million repair.
Is this a favourite spot, coming here with the doggies?
We come up here quite a lot, yeah. But we're spoilt for choice. We've got many places we can take the dogs.
And do they love it here in Somerset?
They do.
This sort of change of life that, well, you wanted it back in 2018, but it seems you've achieved it now.
I think we're really happy, aren't we? If only we had done it a long time before.
Yeah, we should have done it sooner.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only regret, I would say.
Well, it looks like these two are raring to go. Do you want to keep going with the walk? Let's go.
Come on.
Now, I may hail from the southeast, but I can fully understand why the southwest has proved to be such a popular destination with so many of our escapees. And I hope the locals won't mind if I say that, well, no one seems to be in any particular hurry here in this part of the world. A philosophy I could definitely get used to. In fact, that slower pace of life is often the key factor for many of our escapes, as our next couple told us.
The things we really like, log fires, walking the dogs, the coast, gardening, the outdoor life, we've been able to access it from here. But what I'd like to do is be in it.
What's really important to us is a community of people. We currently do some voluntary work to assist people with their gardening, which has been really great fun and very rewarding.
In the summer of 2020, the pandemic seemingly saw the entire nation craving some countryside escapism. And David and Sarah were looking to enjoy their recent retirement by upping sticks from their Berkshire home near the town of Wokingham, where they'd raised their 2 children.
We're looking to move to Somerset or close to Somerset, the borders.
Maybe over into Devon if something was appropriate for what we're looking for. I'm very excited about going. I'm also a little bit nervous because I've only ever lived here, and when you get used to an area, and this house in particular, which has been a really happy house for us.
You'll be fine.
That's what you keep saying.
There'll be little projects to do and chickens and dogs and stuff. Get away.
To make the move to pastures new, they had a budget of up to £700,000. For that, they wanted a detached home with character, 3 to 4 bedrooms and a sociable kitchen diner. They needed enough garden for some homegrown produce and perhaps a few hens, with close proximity to a village community. With the rural southwest property market scorching hot, Sonali Shah took her buyers close to the Somerset border in the East Devon parish of Clayhyden, where, overlooking fields of grazing livestock, was a 19th century detached hillside cottage.
Well, here we are. House number 1.
Wow, it's got a view, David.
It's definitely got a view.
Nice garden, surround. I like the fact they've got some, I think that's a wisteria up the wall, isn't it?
The cottage had been extended a couple of decades earlier to provide space for an open-plan kitchen, dining and living area.
What a lovely view out of the window. I think this space is smaller than I would like.
You've got a utility boot room there.
Extend through here.
Yeah, to open it up, make it a bigger space. Then you could have a proper big dining space.
In the original part of the cottage, there were more options for Sonali's buyers with a further reception room.
I like the beams, so I feel they're sort of giving the room character.
I think you're dead right.
It's a big fire though, isn't it?
Do you want to see more?
Oh,
Yes, please.
Definitely.
Let's head this way.
A sunroom completed the ground floor, whilst upstairs Sonali had 3 double bedrooms to show them, the largest of which had an ensuite. 2 further bedrooms were served by a family bathroom.
And then this is what's being used as the main bedroom.
I say.
Wow.
This is the top of the chimney
Yes, from downstairs.
from downstairs.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Outside, there was more to get Sarah and David thinking, with a half-acre terraced garden offering far-reaching views.
I think we'd be all right here as we are now when we're fitting well, but in our dotage, I'm not entirely sure how we'd cope with the slope.
Perhaps there'd be more chill with the hill when Sonali showed them a further 4.5 acres of pasture.
Fancy being a landowner?
It's glorious.
We hadn't contemplated this.
No.
We can, though. We can think about it. It will depend.
On what, David? What will it depend?
Well, on the money, won't it? What the value is. Everything depends on that.
It is on the market for £675,000.
Is it?
For its asking price, £25,000 below their top budget, this 19th century hillside cottage with pasture offered much of what they had asked for. But at the end of their first day of house hunting, the search had fallen a little short of a landslide victory.
This probably is the sort of thing I had in mind that we'd be finding. I would guess if this was on the flat, it would be right up there with exactly what we're after.
Day 2 saw them venture to the heart of Somerset, a mile north of the former county town of Somerton, where they could be lord and lady of their very own Georgian manor house.
Oh,
Wow. There's a lot of it.
that's gorgeous.
I'm a bit lost for words, really.
Let's head on in.
OK.
Marvellous. Is there a butler?
It's you.
Oh, yeah, no change there, then.
The tour of this substantial Grade II listed 18th century home started in a very spacious formal drawing room.
Ooh. Oh. Lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Question is, could you live in here? Can I sit down there and say, I could just go make the tea?
Shall I show you where you would make the tea? Would that help?
I'll need to know, yes. The
All right.
butler will need to know.
Exactly.
The butler's pantry, eh?
Tea-making facilities were at the back of the home in a kitchen fitted with shaker-style units.
Very nice. I think we could make this quite cosy.
I don't know if there's too many rooms.
We've only seen 2.
I know, but from outside it looked a big house.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah was not wrong. Further rooms on the ground floor included an additional sitting room, a dedicated dining room, a sunroom, a wood-panelled library,
Look at the detail up there.
plus a room with a projector for movie nights that also had an adjoining bathroom and kitchenette.
A cinema room.
What's showing?
Whatever you want, David.
Wow.
A screening of what the butler saw, perhaps? Which, upstairs in this house, included a generous helping of 5 spacious double bedrooms.
Oh, this is really nice.
Yes. Very nice. Again, it's
Yeah.
the fireplaces and the shutters, the window. It is all authentic.
Yeah.
There was also a choice of 2 good-sized bathrooms. Then the 3/4 acre plot provided an expansive front lawn, some woodland and a generous south-facing rear patio, where Sonali revealed where this one stood in terms of their £700,000 budget.
It's on the market for £695,000, so I've snuck in just below budget.
Really? You do get a lot of bricks for your buck in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Isn't that cracking?
It was a price tag made to measure, but the sheer scale of this Georgian manor house proved a tad overwhelming.
The features of this property are just absolutely delightful, but we certainly don't need a property that's of the proportions of this one in particular.
After 2 properties, the search with David and Sarah was beginning to remind me of that classic fairy tale One property slightly too small and one slightly too large. But with the final offering still to go, Sonali was hoping that the mystery house might be just right.
They headed to a property just outside the Somerset village of Long Sutton, where Sonali hoped to provide the size of home they wanted by putting a twist on their requirement for country community.
I've never seen two people look more suspicious about a mystery house.
Well, what have we got here?
What you have here is a collection of 11 dwellings that all were former farm buildings.
Mm-hmm.
They share a gorgeous courtyard
inside,
but you all have your private gardens.
Well, it's an interesting thought.
Trying to get my head around a different slant on community.
Yeah.
This 19th century grain store and its attached neighbours had been converted for residential use at the turn of the century. Sonali started their tour in a characterful kitchen diner.
Oh, what a fantastic kitchen.
Cracking size, eh?
In my opinion, I saved the best kitchen until last.
You have, for sure.
Next to this was a large oak panel dining room.
And then a very cosy living room.
It's well put together and got a lot of character. Not 100% sure about sharing it with 11 other people, if you see what I mean, but we might have to think about that.
They wouldn't share your house, at least. Just your courtyard.
Indeed.
There was, of course, space to host welcome visitors with 3 bedrooms upstairs, all featuring vaulted ceilings, and each one with its own ensuite, including the principal.
Ooh, what a big master bedroom.
Oh, my word.
We could get a nice king-size bed, David.
Each.
Their private walled garden totalled around 1/4 of an acre. But, dear viewers, this wasn't called the Mystery House for nothing. There was one final twist.
Kept something up her sleeve.
There's a 38-hectare dairy farm round here that we own as well.
Not quite, but David was heading in the right direction, as there were an additional 4 acres of paddocks complete with stables.
Not expected.
Well, I'll be.
The current owners actually rent out this space.
Right.
To people with horses.
Right.
So it's actually a little bit of an income stream. It's on the market for £699,500.
That's amazing, isn't it?
There is room to negotiate buying the property without the land.
OK, and what does that take the price to?
£625,000.
Right, right. I'd have to give it some thought.
Well, horses for courses. Sonali's mystery pick may have started out as a long shot, but ended up very much in the running. In a field that also included that majestic Georgian manor house and, just over the border in East Devon, a 19th century hillside cottage. So, what and where did they buy?
Well, I'm still in Somerset because I'm delighted to report that David and Sarah did take the plunge, swapping suburban Berkshire for this beautiful part of the world. And they've kindly invited me over to share a small glimpse of their country life, starting with their wonderful home. And I can't wait any excuse to look inside beautiful properties.
I can reveal it's not any of the 3 options they saw with Sonali.
Oh, Sarah, hello. Lovely to meet you. Hi, David.
Nicki.
I'm
Nice to
Nicki.
meet you.
Sonali sends her love. She also said, if I was in the area, that I had to come and find you and see what you eventually bought.
Well, if you're good. Come on.
All right, kettle's on?
No, always.
This detached village home, made of ham stone, is considerably newer than the 18th and 19th century offerings Sonali showed them, built in 2013.
Welcome to the kitchen diner. I'm going to do the ooh as you walk in. We did the ooh when we came to view, yes.
So lovely. And didn't you want a large kitchen?
It was on the list. It was on the list,
Kitchen
yeah.
diner was on the list. This has surpassed our expectations. A very light, airy room. The house is very light and airy as well.
There's also a utility room, a bright modern sitting room, a snug and an office. Upstairs there are 3 double bedrooms, all with lots of storage, as well as a family bathroom. Was this the dream?
This house pretty much ticks every box. So if we spend a lot of our time in here, we spend an equal amount of time out there.
Shall we? Because I know the garden was one of the priorities with this move. This garden is enormous.
David did a lovely pond last year and we've put different borders in, got a rose bed, and we have the joy of developing this but also walk out the back door and have the allotment on our doorstep was our dream, and that's come true. And we've got some plans to get some more fruit trees in this autumn as well.
As well as their large garden providing an abundance of homegrown fruit and veg, David and Sarah have realised another ambition. They've taken on a couple of rescue hens, Brenda and Beryl, who provide fresh eggs on their doorstep.
Do you get eggs every day?
Yep.
Pretty much, pretty much.
2. That's not bad, is it?
And they are absolutely fantastic.
And it's not just about being self-sufficient. Their skills have found the ideal home as volunteers at a local project that's all about creating community connections through land-centred therapy. Called ARC, which stands for Acts of Random Kindness, they're taking me there to meet its founder, Nigel Bell.
Tell me, how did it all start?
It all started from after a number of years working in social work and supporting people, realising there was a lack of services and there was long waiting lists. So back in 2017, we bought a rundown property with some outside space. We're now a day provision that kind of runs Monday to Friday. Doesn't matter what your age is, what you need, what your ability is, let's just do some fun outdoor stuff, improve health and wellbeing, social connections, and get people to a better place.
One of the things that I like most is getting involved with the veterans. So there's veterans from all sorts of campaigns that are here, and the highlight of their week and mine is the Wednesday Breakfast Club. It's that interaction that they get here, and once they start with that, then you can see them grow.
Yes.
And they start to do other things.
There's no pressure to do anything when you get here, but there's a lot of choice of things you can do. And with the help of people like David and Sarah, settling people in when they do come and being that kind of personality, because that is really invaluable. Sarah's been very instrumental in kind of the beekeeping. So we've got award-winning honey, award-winning biscuits and candles, a recent show.
You haven't told me any of this. Perhaps I should see where this award-winning honey comes from.
Come on then, we'll leave the boys behind.
As assistant beekeeper, Sarah's helped grow operations from just 1 to 5 hives. Aptly suited and booted, she's letting me join her on a health check of the site's latest colony.
We've got our smoke here, there's no chemicals, just some natural smoke just to give them a little warning. And this is a young hive. We've got a new colony going and we've got a young queen in here. So we're going to have a look inside. I'm going to open this up, and we've just got a feeding dish in here with some liquid feed. You can see they're not bringing in lots of pollen, and we're getting towards winter. So we'll just take that off.
Oh, wow. So you say this is a small hive?
Yes, this is a small colony. So we're not looking to take any honey off of this year. Our prime purpose is to keep this colony going over winter by giving it liquid feed now.
How often would you be checking on the hives?
Oh, this time of year, once a week. They won't do much more work in this colony now for this year, but we're doing our best to look after them. If you can look there, you can see the honey in the cells.
Yeah. And this is what you sell locally?
Yes, yes. If we couldn't find the queen, we can still look for signs that it's a healthy colony, because we look for eggs. Some little tiny white flecks in these cells here.
Yeah. Yes.
Those are eggs. So we're going to just put this back on now. We're not going to disturb them anymore.
Yeah.
They're doing okay. She's still laying a few eggs.
It is fascinating.
The result of all the hard work is some delicious honey, as well as beeswax candles and balms, all sold to raise funds for this community project.
So this is this season's honey. Hot off the press, or hot off the frames.
Yes.
Have a little taste.
Can I?
Yeah.
I should say, may I? Where are my manners? Thank you. There we go. That is good.
That's why it's award-winning.
Award-winning. That is very good.
A short stroll away back at Sarah and David's own garden, there's more to sample. Over some tea and Sarah's home-baked biscuits, joined by their latest canine addition to the family, I'm venturing to find out how they went from looking at period properties with Sonali to living in what is pretty much a new build.
You were after character and charm. The garden was a big part, and the outside space, the countryside. But in my head, when I heard what you wanted, I wasn't expecting this.
We looked at the houses and we saw some doer-uppers and things like that, which were effectively the project for the rest of your life, was to do this house up. And we thought, no, we want the house to live in.
You didn't want the house to dictate your retirement.
No, we didn't.
You wanted it to complement your new lives, but not to be the be-all and end-all. It's all about this. It's about arc at the end of the road. I've got to ask you, remind me what your budget was when you were looking for a property. It was a few years ago.
700.
Am I allowed to ask what you paid for this?
What do you think? Go on, what would you say?
I'm going to go 680.
And Sonali would go, you're very close.
Am I?
No.
Yeah. You aren't. It was 700.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
No.
500. I can't remember.
It was 600.
Was it?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
So you got this for £600,000?
Yeah.
With all of this?
Yeah.
Was this house on the market when you were looking with us?
Don't think it was. I think it was about 6 weeks after we finished filming.
We came through the house and we had that wow moment when we walked into the kitchen, and we couldn't have believed that we could get a house that had everything we wanted and the land as well.
Way under your budget, which is always a bonus.
Yes.
We're so delighted. It is a beautiful property.
Oh, thank you.
And what you wanted, a home, but with the lifestyle and with the community. And you've certainly got that here. And thank you for inviting us back.
Not at all. Been a pleasure. Been a pleasure. And send our love to Sonali.
Will
Tell
do.
her she missed out.
Her lost my game.
There you go.
Thank you. Our purpose on Escape to the Country is to find at least one house that will elicit the right feeling for our buyers. And that was clearly the case with Sarah and Martin, who had mentally moved in before they'd even stepped through the door. It took Sarah and David a little more time to find their perfect escape. And even though it wasn't the old country cottage they thought they wanted, yet again, it was the feeling that won it over in the end. And I'm telling you, it's a thing. So that's it from us, and I'll see you again very soon.
If you also dream of escaping to the country in Wales, Scotland, England or Northern Ireland and would like our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/take part.